Welcome back to the Tuto Money Super British Karting Championships. Junior TKM is up next. And my, in some parts, controversial pick for the championship this season joins me. It's the rookie, Spencer Stevenson. Now, I want to talk to you about the first heat, first of all. You had 2 heats, I think, so far. I know you were disappointed after that first heat. You were on pole, so that's the positive you've got to take out of it. And then you got, I don't know, mullered off through the first lap, and you've ended up down, I think, 12th, but then you come back strong in the second heat, which I like to see. Good positive mindset. What are you thinking about this season? We've seen you at the Super Prix, we've seen you at the TKM Festival. That's where sort of I've picked up my vibe from you. We know you've got the quality, we know you've got pace, we know you've got racecraft. But from your point of view as a rookie coming into Super 1, are you really expecting that you can win this year, or are you looking for just to sort of get a foot in and then move forward from there?
I mean, it's doable to win it, but it'll be pretty hard. But as long as I get like a seeded number, then I'll be happy. Okay, and of course, Abby, as we know, is going to be the one to beat, no doubt. She is, looks like she's on fire. The first 2 heats, she was in great form, no doubt, and withstood the pressure to win both those heats. You got the pre-final coming. I think you're 4th in that pre-final? Yeah, starting P4.
So, P4, I mean, you could argue, would you argue 3rd place, or you sort of, you've got that left turn going through the start-finish line. You don't really want to be out on the outside, do you?
No, it's going to be a bit tricky, but we'll see.
So let's say you're sitting 2nd. I mean, obviously the points are important. Would you if 1st is out of the question, would you almost prefer 3rd for the starting grid position in the televised race?
Yeah, because you got the inside line, so it's a bit easier to get around.
Yeah, you give up a couple of points, don't you? But you get that inside line because, of course, on the outside you can get mullered off and end up on the grass and down in 20th place, which I think is where you ended up in that first heat. Anyway, good luck this season. You are my championship pick. A little bit controversial in some parts, but hopefully you'll have a good season. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Spencer Stevenson, the new man in at Talco Racing, 2nd row of the grid after a great fight back from his problems in the earlier races. Pulling is on pole position, though, defending her title lead at the moment from Richardson on the 2nd position slot. Butterworth in 4th, McKeown, Taylor, Harvey, Oates, Kearney and Hurrell round out the top 10. 21 carts. This is the first meeting of the season for Junior TKM, and it's always electric. Let's race. Fantastic start from Abby Pulling this weekend. 3 victories from 3 races, but this is the televised final. It's always the hardest race to win because you put that extra pressure on yourself. Spencer Stevenson through in his 2nd position, so it's Talco Racing 1 and 2 in the early stages. Abby Pulling, race leader, championship leader at the moment, of course, having won 3 from 3. Spent 2 meetings in the Ginetta Junior Championship on the Toka paddock to see what it was like. I don't think they're going to be able to do more than 3 weekends, so this is her main championship campaign. Spencer Stevenson tucked up behind her teammate and learning from the best in the field.
Spencer Stevenson, the leading rookie, currently on track. Oliver Richardson, by the way, is Andy Pulling's pick to provide Abby Pulling, his daughter, with the biggest challenge this year. That's Louis Harvey, the 74 going through the picture, the man from Malmesbury. But it is Pulling and Stevenson who are pulling a little bit of a gap. Harvey looks like he's down to 5th place, went through the line in 3rd, but he's already down to 5th by the bottom double apex.
Yep, Richardson's through, and so too is Dan Butterworth on the gold cart. Very distinctive livery, that gold machine, with its blue and yellow colours. Dan Butterworth doing a grand job. Louis Harvey, of course, running under the Class and Motorsport colours this season. So hopefully there's a good, strong run in the 2018 campaign. First weekend of the season, don't forget. So everybody pushing very hard to start their season off on a high.
The championship points, by the way, guys, updating live as the drivers cross the line because it's very early in the championship season. these points will update at the end of each lap. As the drivers cross the line, you'll see those points change. So at the moment, Pulling has a championship lead, and it's a reasonable championship lead at this first weekend by 9 points.
Really exciting stuff. Oliver Richardson, Andy Pulling's dark horse, third position. He has been feisty, and I should tell you, all 4 of these drivers in the top 4 have led races at some point this weekend as they all battle for supremacy. But somehow, even though Abby Pulling has slipped back to 4th position in some races this weekend, has always found the way to fight back to the lead, and that just shows how amazing her last 2 seasons in Junior TKM have been. Runner-up in 16, champion last year, and a lot of people predicting she could win the championship again in 18.
Danny McEwen made up a place there. We went through the last lap in 6. He's up to 5th now, and that's dropped Louis Harvey down to 6th place. You see McEwen there in 5th, Harvey in 6th, but it is Pulling from Stevenson out front. Richardson trying to close them down, working hard to do that. Butterworth needs to work with him if they're going to close that gap.
It's going to be a very tall order even already, because they've got a second on the rest of the field. So Butterworth is the man who needs to step up to the plate really and charge after with cooperation from Oliver Richardson. But Richardson's lap times are very strong, 40.25. He is quicker than both of the karts in front.
Yeah, Richardson had purple sectors in 2 of the sectors there. Pulling had a purple sector in sector 2. So it's Richardson who's certainly got the pace, and he looks like he is closing this gap now.
So what to do if he gets too close to the... Oh, that's an off there. That looks like one of the Sam Jenkins Motorsport carts. I think that's Will Orton, who was running in 10th position. He doesn't even lose a place. He's very lucky to get away from that. His teammate, Dominic Kilmister, is trying to get on terms with Zach Taylor at the moment, who is the next leading seed after Abby Pulling, but he's not had a great start to his season here at Larkhall. He will be trying to push hard. You just saw them in the shot there. As now, look, Stevenson giving Abby Pulling the hurry up. Look, the gap is down to 7/10 of a second. Richardson does a 40.15. He is absolutely monstering after these 2. No cooperation from Butterworth needed right now.
Yeah, 0.7 of a second behind when he went through the line. That time, second last time. So close the gap by 2 to 3 tenths. And Butterworth getting closer as well. It's going to be a 4-way scrap for the win. Any one of those 4 can win it. I think it's going to come from one of these 4 out front. I think McEwen there in 5th place, a little bit too far behind. Zach Oates started P8. He was one of my ones to watch in my earlier midweek ones to watch feature online.
We're going to have to come up with a snappier name for that, you know. You're going to have to find a way of getting it out in less than 5 seconds. But yeah, he's a very talented young racer, is Zach Oates. Good to see him there charging after McEwen. He could catch him, actually. He's got time to do it. Yeah,
I think he's going to. Started P8, he's made up 2. McEwen started P5, now still in 5th place. But this 2-way battle out front, sure, this is going to be 4 karts in it very, very shortly.
Right, I want to talk about this young lady, Morgan Kidd. She has made up a few places already and has come up to 16th place. She's made up more places than anyone else in the field at the moment, 4 places, but she had a very nasty prang into the final corner barrier in Heat 1 yesterday, and how she has fought back has been absolutely brilliant. She missed the second heat because the kart was too damaged. She did a fairly good job in the pre-final, but in this race, she's really stepping up the plate.
Yeah, she's shown a lot of character, and that's what we like to see. When you have a big crash, that's how you deal with that.
Look at Richardson. Look, he's right on the back of these 2 now, and that's interesting. Look, you saw there on the inside line on the run to the hairpin, Will Orton's off, has put muck onto the circuit. It's put dirt and rubbish onto the circuit there. That's going to be really tricky for anybody who makes an overtaking move into that hairpin.
Orton, really easy to pick out from the drone, isn't he, in those green colours. You just see him in the background. He was in... where was he at the end of the last lap? He was down to 11th. In fact, lost a place just going through the picture.
To his teammate. Oh, Stevenson
for the lead. Oh, go with him. Oh. It's a great move by Richardson, and Pulling goes from 1st to 3rd. And watch her championship lead be decimated. She'll drop to 192.
Yeah, she won't lose the championship lead because of how strong her weekend has been, but it will be slashed in half, her points advantage. But yes, very interesting to note. You were talking about Will Orton there losing a place. He actually lost it to his teammate, the rookie, Dominic Kilmister, who's really been putting on a great show. He's actually the 3rd top rookie. Here we go in the virtual championship. Watch. Over the line. There he goes. It tumbles down. The lead is only 3 points now.
I can't say how great this Tag Heuer system is, Jake. Fantastic system. Updates the points live during the race. And we can have this overlay and see exactly where everybody is, not only on track, but in the championship as well. Fantastic system. Run by Ian Rogers here.
This is the battle. Orton and Kidd, and off into the muck goes Liam Hurrell. Oh, Liam Hurrell goes off there into the chippings.
Barking mad.
Oh, well, unfortunately, somebody was going to go at some point this weekend. Look, Orton's got the move done. Morgan tries to follow through. They just bang wheels, and there's nowhere Liam Hurrell can go. It's not his fault at all.
No, I think that's just a racing incident. He was a little bit stuck on the outside there once the man went down the inside. So, unfortunately for Liam, he's in the bark chippings. It's a long way back from there.
And it's not exactly a bad move from Morgan Kidd either, because she had plenty of space to get the move done, and it was a clean-looking move. They just ended up rubbing wheels. Nothing either of them could have done. It's easy to do when you're in the fight for position, so I wouldn't say that's a negative on either Liam or Morgan. Neither driver really at fault. It's motor racing. What do you want them to do? Stay in a line? Don't think so.
Pulling up the inside of a second.
Pulling makes the move just as I say that. No, I don't want them to stay in a line. I want them to go for it. And Abby Pulling has always found the way back into position when she's fallen back in position. She well as far as 4th place in the earlier final and sat on the back of these 3 drivers around her, Stevenson, Richardson and Butterworth, and just picked them off one by one. And now she's got her teammate to do, Stevenson, and this should be fairly straightforward, but they've got the slower kart in front of Liam Hurrell, who has got going again. Here she comes on the inside through the right-hander. Cheers, thank you very much.
Thanks for the memories, boys. Here we go.
Stevenson's coming back.
Stevenson back up the inside. What a race. And Richardson going with him. But Pulling's having none of that. She's kept the inside line. Richardson trying to get her on the switchback. And here comes Butterworth in the mix now. Butterworth, he's loving that.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah, just keep battling, you 3. I'll pick up an opportunity to get past at least one of you. Now we've got Oates in 5th position. McKeown is there in 6th. So Oates has dealt with McKeown and started to pull away. Then it's Kearney, Harvey, Newsham, Kilmister. Here comes Richardson on the inside of Pulling. Pulling's going to be spat out wide. Butterworth's going to get through as well in the P3. Pulling's down at the back of the queue.
Great racing. We love it. TKM delivers once more. We've seen the greatest kart race in history in junior TKM at the TKM Festival years ago. It's probably relegated to the 2nd best now after, I think, when was the last one? Last year we had a fantastic race.
Well, don't tell them that.
Yeah.
Anybody, don't tell Lewis Alton and Dan Baber who were in that battle. Anyway,
Exactly.
this is not a panic for Abby Pulling fans.
No.
She has fallen to 4th position, but she's done this twice already this weekend. She's led in the early stages.
Look at the championship.
Yeah, it's so close. Look, a point between Pulling and Richardson if it stays like this.
If Richardson gets the lead here, he assumes the championship lead. That's a 2-point extra.
Here he goes.
Here he comes up the inside, and Richardson's got the championship
And Butterworth
lead.
through as well. Butterworth into 2nd position as well. Now watch Pulling. She's going to make it for 3rd.
She gets the
Takes
lead
back the lead of the championship by doing so. That's what's great about this. Pulling, I was going to say, Pulling fans should not panic here. She has dropped to 4th position in the battle for a victory twice this weekend and fought it back for the victory. So she can do this. As a big moment for Richardson out of the final turn. He very nearly bins it, and as a result of Pulling getting into 3rd place, she retakes the championship lead by 1 point.
Oliver Richardson, Andy Pulling, as said earlier, Andy Pulling's one to watch. At the beginning of the weekend, he said to me, I tell you what, you missed out Oliver Richardson there in that lot, because I think he's the one that's going to provide us with a challenge.
Well, Richardson's
and he goes from 1st to, is it 3rd or 2nd to 3rd? Make that 2nd.
Yep.
Great battling.
Pulling's going to go back to 4th if she's not careful. She
does.
slots back into 3rd again, just in front of Stevenson. But Butterworth, look at that. He's got an advantage. He could win the race from that lead.
Butterworth certainly didn't look like he was going to win it early on, but watch his championship points change. He's just gone up 2. Pulling's on 192. Richardson's lost a couple of points. He was 1 point in the championship for Pulling. She's now got a 3-point championship lead. If she gets past Richardson, that's a 4-point swing. She'll get 2 more. Richardson will get 2 less. He's signalling to Abby Pulling, come on, work with me. Let's get back to Butterworth. But Pulling's having none of that. Here she comes.
Pulling's fighting for the championship with Oliver Richardson. Do you really think he's going to work with you? Oh, brilliant. Pulling goes through. Very nice work. Abby Pulling goes through. Do you really think I'm going to work with you, Sunshine? Don't even think about it. I'm fighting the championship with you. I'm not too bothered about Butterworth winning here. It's between you and him.
I've won both heats in the pre-final.
Exactly.
I'm giving up this one. You can think again, I won 196 points out of this weekend.
Well, that's it. And to be honest, probable thinking is if I'm going to work with anybody to catch Butterworth, it ain't going to be you, mate. I'm going to battle with you for the championship points, thanks. But she will want to charge after Butterworth and get the maximum 196. So she's got a chance to do it, but only now if Richardson's prepared to work with her.
Partly because if they believe the Pullings that Richardson is the man to beat, these extra, finishing in front of him, it's a 4-point swing.
Yep.
We've seen already in the last, 2 years ago, she lost the championship on the line. So you might think, you can't win it at the first round. No, you can't, you're right. But a 4-point swing at this stage is important. And talking of 4-point swings, Richardson looking up the inside, trying to turn that round, but can't quite get that done there. But still in it and pulling, getting closer to the race leader.
But running out of time. We're on the penultimate lap. We're going to run out of time before we get to the line. So I don't think Abby Pulling is going to quite be able to get on terms with Dan Butterworth unless Butterworth makes a mistake or she gets cooperation from Richardson and Stevenson. She's going to have to work incredibly hard. This could be the first time all weekend Pulling doesn't get the win, but for Butterworth, that would be sensational as the leading privateer in the championship to come through for the victory. That would be sensational. They say, don't they, you can't win in the national championships unless you're in a team. Don't tell Dan Butterworth. He can prove you wrong. He is working so hard here, but can he hang on in front of Abby Pulling? Pulling is giving him the hurry up. Butterworth defending. He's got plenty of space to do it. Butterworth moves to cover. Nicely done. She doesn't want to commit too much. Richardson trying to come up on the inside of Pulling.
Tell you what, I thought she'd made a mistake there and given Richardson, well, she did make a mistake in my opinion, gave Richardson the inside line.
And that's
but
enough.
Fortunately for him, couldn't take advantage.
Well, that's enough. Butterworth's going to hold on to it. Dan Butterworth, the privateer, gets the victory. Delighted he is and beats Pulling for the first time this weekend. Pulling is not the winner. Second place, Richardson, the leading rookie, in third place from Stevenson. Oates is fifth from McKeown and Kearney. Pulling will lead the championship heading to the next round with a 7-point advantage and 10 points ahead of Butterworth, but the moment should go to Dan Butterworth. What a great drive. At one point, he was in fourth position, looking a long way off. He fought it back, he took his moment, grabbed the lead, and Dan Butterworth, in my opinion, a very, very worthy winner.
I tell you what, the way you broke away, it was as if you had that power in reserve all the way. I mean, how do you manage to pick that moment?
Well, it's just wait till they made a mistake and then just let them battle it out between them.
It's clearly going to be a tough championship in 2018. So many drivers to go for. Oliver, Spencer, Abby, they're all in there. How are you going to make the difference?
Just consistent. Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Thanks.
So Butterworth wins the televised final. Pulling leads the standings by 7 points, 3 more ahead of Butterworth with Stevenson and Harvey in the top 5. Junior X30 is up next in part 5.